Hey, you girls like video games, right?
Duh.
And you like Sonic the Hedgehog, don't you?
Yeah.
And you both love TTRPGs.
When she isn't getting me killed.
That was one time.
A Bandcamp.
Wait, what? I don't get it.
Good. Anyway, you both love conventions.
Yeah!
Sonic Fan Fest is back. This time, they're heading to the Future Inn, Cardiff Bay on the 20th of June 2026 for a special Sonic birthday bash, with special guests including Breton Boy, Sonic Paradox, Ferran Rodriguez, Dream Kittu, and TJ Davis. But listeners of this podcast will be most interested to know that the whole of the My Daughter's Keeper team will be there to run Sonic the Hedgehog Battle at the Bot Factory, a Sonic Satan-based Groton homebrew. So come, enjoy as we perform a live experience on stage. Tickets are available from Eventbrite. All the information is in the link and description. Please do check it out and come join us to celebrate the 35th birthday of the Little Blue Menace.
Can you feel the sunshine?
No, absolutely not. I'm not paying royalties. Stop that right now.
It's Patreon shout-out time. This goes out to Karen Morgan and Daniel Gregory. Thank you very much for your continued support. And if you'd like to get in on this action, then go over to patreon.com/My Daughter's Keeper. You'll be able to find out all the goodies that are over there. And as always, you'll find out more at the end of the episode. But right now, let's get into the adventure. My Daughter's Keeper presents Dark Lullaby, part of the Scions of the Dark Goddess campaign, a 7th edition modern Call of Cthulhu scenario by Ruben Calante and Enrique Camino. Episode 1. A week has gone by since Amber Kellerman's funeral. It is the end of October 2025, on the outskirts of Bangor. The parents of the deceased have invited you all over to their house to thank you for your support at this time of sorrow and to ask for a little help. The Kellermans live in a luxury housing complex. Mr. Kellerman is a retired television writer, and Mrs. Kellerman is a famous presenter who presents sensationalist TV shows. They still can't explain the reasons their daughter would have had for taking her own life. And this is where we find you three sat opposite, slightly uncomfortably, sat opposite the Kelmans. And let's begin so that everybody knows. Let's introduce you. Let's take you in the order that I've got you present. Aaron, who are we today?
I am Carmen Peabody. I'm a detective. I work for the Boston PD.
Excellent. Scruff.
I'm Eric Miller, age 35. I am a psychologist of Amber, or was.
That could prove interesting. Jonah, who are we?
I am Cody Nelson, history professor. I don't actually think it says where I'm a history professor in my notes. But I am a history professor, so I might have some help with a little bit of the history between our group.
Excellent.
All right.
Given what you know here of the situation, I suppose the question to begin with is, do you have any questions to ask the Kelmans?
Yeah, Eric. Check his name. Yeah, it's Eric. Eric will go to the. Let me just grab this image here, because everyone will be able to see it. I'll just chuck it in the game channel.
Yep.
So he goes to the parents and says, oh, "I'm really sorry for your loss. My deepest condolences." I'm looking into this a bit more. I've got, and you'll point to Aaron's character. I hired this person just to look into this a little bit more, and I've given them this information. Do any of these look familiar to you at all? And I'll show them those two pictures, like the relatives.
Mr. Kelman he sort of just shakes his head. Nah. Perhaps it had something to do with the article she was working on. Of course, you know she was a journalist. I know she was working on something. She hadn't been answering our calls for a couple of months, but that was typical when she was working on a project.
Do you have a copy of the last article that she did?
Probably got one somewhere, but that was a pretty mundane thing. Whatever she was working on this time, she never got the chance to turn it in. We don't know what happened to her notes or anything. There didn't seem to be anything It was difficult for us to go back to her apartment, obviously. There was nothing obvious. The police didn't find anything. It was one of those things. We hadn't heard from her since the 8th. We had an email from her. She said she would come back after she was on some work trip.
Okay. I might have been helping Amber unintentionally with this. She'd asked me about this place. I didn't really know too much about it, to be honest. At least not at first. I don't think she ever gave me a name, but I do remember giving her several books about cities and towns that might have matched the description, including some photographic evidence, and I don't suppose that she had any of those books laying around. We might be able to find something from that.
Mrs. Kelman was... No, we didn't see anything. It was like all of her work stuff was gone. We can't explain it. Her home looked lived in, but it seemed to be devoid of all of her work stuff. Her laptop was there, but the police said they didn't find anything important on it. I don't know whether it was because, we'd had a minor dispute. Nothing important, but we hadn't been in contact with Amber as much as we liked to, as much as we used to. Just a silly little family squabble.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to be forking out of my own paycheck for those books, but okay.
Would Eric know anything about this kind of family spat that would have happened, considering he was our psychologist? Would she have told him anything about that?
You can give me a psychology roll and see what you can detect. You certainly don't know of anything, but you might be able to tell something from the parents.
Probably not. 88.
Probably not. If anybody else wants to give a psychology roll or some sort of psychological roll.
Yeah.
I think psychology.
I will. I'll try. Why not?
Oh, she was upset there. I may as well. Let's try my roll.
I take it that's a fail for you, Jonah.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a big old fail for me too.
Fails are fine. There's a weird sort of shifting of eyes and a knowing glance between the two of them, but they're keeping fairly tight-lipped about whatever it was. But Mr. Kelman looks Peabody right in the face, right in the eyes, and says, "I'm sure you know, as a police officer yourself, looking into this, that they reckon that our daughter had suffered a miscarriage shortly before her death, possibly a premature stillbirth without medical assistance. The Bangor police here reckon that was the reason she did herself in, but we still can't quite understand how she was pregnant to begin with, seeing as and Mrs. Kelman cuts in. she was only attracted to other women.
Well, there are lots of lesbian couples who do have children. It is possible to get donations, or even in some cases get a gentleman to help out. But I didn't find, there was no evidence of anything like that in the police record when I examined it.
That's right. We went through it fairly thoroughly, and there seemed to be very little information. Look, we asked you because we know you were the closest to her, and we trust you. And she puts out a set of keys. She sits down on the coffee table between the two sets of sofas, and says that we'd really appreciate it if you could just look into it. It may be nothing, but who knows? Maybe a fresh pair of eyes will find something.
Well, of course we will. I've got some leave due coming up from the PD, so that's not a problem. I take it that Ray has been in touch with you all since I got him released.
Yeah, Amber wasn't too happy about that, as you can imagine. But yeah, he's keeping a low profile. He's gone to ground. You know what it's like, these actors who you find their feeding as children, and once they start getting a little bit older, they feel useless. They don't feel like they've got much left to contribute because no one takes him seriously as an adult actor. He's been very down on his luck. I think he's let his bad habits get the best of him.
Well, yeah, assaulting a police officer is usually considered a bad habit. He's lucky that I knew the man and could convince him not to press charges, but it was the least I could do in the circumstances.
Yes, that's very kind of you. But yeah, we're making sure he keeps a very low profile for the time being. But yeah, if you could go and have a look around her apartment, maybe see if you...
I think that might be the place to start. I think, ladies and gentlemen, if we go to Amber's apartment, we might have a look with fresh eyes and see what we can see.
Of course.
Do you have a key for the apartment, Mr. and Mrs. K?
Mrs. Kellerman pushes the small bunch of keys that she's already put on the coffee table towards you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
That should be the key to the building and her apartment itself. 403. She writes down the address and some basic directions. You can't miss the place. It's on the top floor. It's pretty much the only apartment on the top floor.
Okay. I will keep you appraised of what's going on. I've got your email addresses and your personal mobile numbers, I believe.
Oh yeah. Well, we made sure you had that when we contacted you. We really appreciate that, especially having a police officer willing to help. Because,
she was a friend, so it's as I say, it's the least we can do. Find out what went on and share what I can with you.
Thank you. We really can't thank you enough. And Mr. Kelman stands up and holds his hand out to each of you and said, we really appreciate whatever help you can offer us. At this point, we just want some closure. The surprise of discovering that Amber was pregnant, shortly followed by her death, it's taken a lot out of us.
With Eric, when he shakes the hand, he's kind of like looking at the two of them to see if there's anything else that they're kind of like holding back on slightly. Like, certainly more so when they mentioned that she was a lesbian. Like, if there was anything there, like the way that he would be internalizing it would be more or less like if they disapproved that she was a lesbian.
Yeah.
Or if there's...
Yeah, a psychology or a psychoanalysis or a very hard spot hidden.
Yeah. So it would be psychoanalysis.
Yep.
C is the stat, so I got 41. So maybe like a pass.
Excellent. Yeah, you can tell it perhaps wasn't as obvious during the conversation. These two are very embarrassed about this suicide. They're avoiding talking about something, definitely, and you get the feeling it has something to do with what that family dispute was. If you want to push it, in as much as asking them directly, you can.
I think.
But yeah.
Oh, one more thing. Yeah, so he as he's shaking the hand, he'll say, trying to think of what the best way to word it would be. But essentially, it's kind of like saying, not those exact words, but he's essentially saying, like, trying to bluff that he knew, like, her side, but would be kind of like very vague about it. So it's kind of like, do you need to get it off your chest, essentially?
Yeah.
And that was a 22, psychology 50, so that's over half.
Yeah. That is a hard pass, which is excellent. There is a perhaps slightly too long look between the two Kelmans, and then, with a sigh, Mr. Kelman he seems to completely sag, and his wife picks it up and says, "We really didn't want to go into details, but I suppose you should know everything.
Would be helpful.
When Amber told us she was pregnant, well, as you can imagine, we were hugely surprised given her predilections, but well, we didn't think it was a good idea for her to be a single mom. What with her job and everything, traveling around a lot and not being able to take proper care of a child. We said it probably wasn't the best idea, but she seemed very forceful about it, and almost as if this was some kind of God-given opportunity for her. And well, we may have made some threats that were not exactly in the best of intention at the time. And, oh God, I can't believe we left it like that.
You need to be specific. Tell us the details, Mrs. K. We need to be specific here. What did you say to her?
Mr. Kalman sort of straightens up at this point and says, "It wasn't her. It was
This
me."
will not go any further. It will not go into the police report. This is between us. We need to know, if you want us to do the best job that we can do, you need to be completely, brutally honest with us.
Yeah, Mr. Kalman straightens up and says that we threatened to disinherit her if she had the child. We just didn't think it was right. That's it. We left things under that cloud. It was
How
wrong.
did she take that? I would assume that she was not happy, and that she, well, knowing her, I can imagine that she pushed back.
Yes, sir, she did. She stormed out of here, and that was the last time we saw her. Oh, God, I can't believe we left things like that.
Eric would essentially like pat them on the shoulder and kind of try and reassure him, just say, "Oh, it's good that you let that out. It's the first sign of healing," and give some like psychologist mumbo jumbo about like how important and spiritually healing telling the truth will be.
Giving you some real psychoanalysis. Yeah.
Yeah. He will also leave them his business card and say, "If you ever need any appointments, here is my phone number. Feel free to call at any time, and we'll book you in for an appointment." It was so brave of you to say that. So very, very brave of you to.
That's brilliant.
Okay, I think we should leave you to the rest of the evening. We should get on over to Amber's place and begin our investigation.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the chaos as much as we did. Don't forget, new episodes drop every Sunday and Wednesday, so there's always more trouble just around the corner. If you'd like to dive deeper, you can join us over at the My Daughter's Keeper Patreon. You'll get access to a growing library of exclusive scenarios you won't find anywhere else, entry to our members-only Discord community, and even the chance to take a seat at the table at our backer-only games. Until next time, keep your wits about you, your dice within reach, and try, just try, not to make things worse.